Poodle fam, here we are, Wednesday. Yeah, therapy day, poodle therapy day. Wait, no one put hey, it's the music. I always get somebody who chats that they're excited to hear the music, and I didn't get the music thing. So hopefully you can hear me, because I'm assuming you are, but you can. Yeah, we've got a good one for you today, Poodle family. It's going to be an interesting one because I've got ideas in my head. But hey, Susan, how's it going? Hey, everybody, it's the music. See, there we go. That's what we like to see. Oh, the poodle cap. I don't have a poodle cap, but I should. I should get one. So a few things today. I kind of had notes of what I wanted to cover. So a little bit of behind the scenes. I have general ideas of what I want to do for episodes, and they all seem to come together over the course of the week. And for some reason, always something happens that makes me go, okay, this is what we want to cover. This is what we want to talk about. But today wasn't quite that. But I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about, okay? I'm calling this episode Walking on Thin Ice, all right? So I spent 3 days, I don't know, it was the further you go north, the more time kind of blurs, but in Minnesota, in good old Minnesota, just for L. No, so there's this thing out there. Okay, so those of you who come from cold areas know this, so you can actually walk on water when it's frozen. I think they call that ice, right? And there's a whole little bunch of ice fishing. Well, I've now been at the same speaking thing a few times, and I have one goal in life, and that's to walk on a lake, okay? Did a little bit, didn't as much as I wanted to, so next time I'm out there, I have to do more. But the thing is, there was a lesson that was told to me there, okay, about when you can know when you can walk on ice and when you cannot. And I guess supposedly, you they'll build entire cities out on the lake, right? And actually be able to have I'm not gonna forget the wheel. I got it right here. It's already loaded. You can go out there. They'll set streets up, and you get pizza delivered while you're staying in your little cabin on the lake for weeks at a time. I don't know. I don't get it. I live where it's a beautiful 80 degrees today. Okay, but that said, one of the things that was told to me as we were talking about whether we're going to go and spend time on the ice, and they said, well, I asked, how do you know whether or not you can do it? And the response was essentially that when you're a part of the community, you just know when it's right and when it's not right. You get used to the weather. You get used to the way the climate is changing. That really didn't answer the question for me, just so you know. But the sense was when you're part of something, you get a feeling. We know when it's cold, when it's not. Hey, now you can go there and now you can't do this. And I think there was a lot of parallels to crypto in that and our crypto family. And it started to make me think about just the volatility that's been going on in the world. Okay, we know that the war and everything going on, the kind of the boom and the boom of the meme coins, and then a kind of fall of meme coins and a boom of NFTs, and now NFTs probably hit their top as far as a gimmick, and now we're having to find utility behind things, and so that brings a lot of volatility. And so, how do you know whether or not it's a safe place to walk? And I think that's really one of the things that happens to a lot of our new community members and people who are interested in crypto, but there isn't a security there that they're comfortable with yet, and they're not really sure exactly what to do. And to be honest, I named this episode after kind of me. All right. I think I get the award for worst admin ever because I think, I have not been on the Telegram much. I'm kind of in my travel season working on some other projects that are tied to Poodle. Okay. So work things that we're going to pull in to Poodle. I can't give it all out yet, but I will in due course. Don't worry. But that said, what is our responsibility as a token holder? I mean, obviously, if I'm being an admin, I probably have a lot more responsibility than I probably do, and I probably should do more. But there is more to it, right? There's more that we should be doing. And if you're part of the shill team, that's fantastic. If you're part of the devs and you're part of getting the community moving, that's fantastic. But what can you really do in order to build up your community? What should we do so that the token can continue to survive? And I think that this is the key. We've seen a lot of come and goes. But what I'm also starting to see is, I know I am ashamed, but what we're starting to see is a lot more stability. I think I actually called this back in about June about how we would start to see stability of certain coins and the ones that would last and the ones that would survive. And we would stop seeing, which they haven't completely stopped, a lot of the scams, but you're seeing people get wiser, right? And so that's what's starting to change. So with that, we're going to do a commercial break. We're going to do a commercial break because the next bit of it, I'm going to go into a little bit more on how to make sure we can keep our token not on thin ice. All right, so here we go. It's the wheel time. All right, so we have our shillers. We know our shillers, right, who go out there and they get the Poodle Olympics winners. Each week, you go out there and shill. You get a certain amount of draws into the wheel, and you get prizes. You get real tokens for getting out there and shilling. So that being said, here we go. Spin one. And in first place is, I still need to get a drum roll. Arthur, it's fixed. Just kidding. It's not fixed. Arthur, there you go. There, and let's edit that out. In first place was Arthur. There we go. With the most, with 4 entries. There we go. Update that. Back down. Here we go. And in second place, we have, boom, 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 Sensi in second place. There we go. Knock that out. We have 2 more entrants. And the winner will be, and drum roll, Iconizer in the third place. Congratulations. And then, just for fun, here we go. Chase. Oh, I need at least 2 options. So we're going to do Chase and Chase. So there we go. So in fourth place will be, hold on, here we go. Let's spin it to see who comes in fourth. Chase in the 4th position. Congratulations to everybody who gets out there and shills away and just does amazing things for this token. So congratulations, everybody, in that order, we have Arthur, Sensi, Iconizer, and Chase in the fourth position, and first through fourth. So congratulations. I think that's really important. So why I stopped the show to do this, there is a backbone to our token that I started talking about last week. So if you didn't listen to last week's episode, okay, that's episode 41. I did a little, a breaking the bias episode to say a big thank you to the women of POODL. So a little bit of what I'm doing, and I will make a lot of this public. I'll share a little bit right now. So I'm doing a lot of speaking and a lot of traveling around the world. Well, I spoke to a charity, a tech charity, on Friday, and gave the keynote address that it's an African-based charity to help with that gives technical knowledge, training, resources to kids to learn how to code and get into tech and all of that. And I gave a keynote on what we can do to actually make our lives equitable, and how we can decrease and ideally eliminate the gender gap. Now, as I started to speak, I thought a lot about what I said to us and the ladies here last week, and the strength of strong women in technology. And I started to talk about how opportunity is the great equalizer. And then something happened. It got Zoom bombed. Yep, it came in, and what happened was essentially our version, even though it was in that vertical, of toxic telegrams, right? On it, right as I'm speaking and talking about giving opportunity to women in technology and how what we can do to make a real difference, it gets Zoom bombed. And of course, the screen share, and of course, the heckling, and all of the profanity, taking away from the purpose of the conversation. And it then made me think, as I was doing that, and I stopped there, and, they kicked it out, and they were able to kick everybody out and close it, and I went on. But I did stop, and I stopped my presentation because it made me recognize that's why my presentation was important. And that's why what we do as a Poodle community is important. I know that we have a lot of volatility in the crypto markets right now. There are a lot of people wondering, and you see it all the time, Bitcoin to 100,000, and then you'll see the meme going, well, can we just hold it at 40 first? There is a lot of fear. And it's those bad actors, those people who will come in and take true opportunity as a chance to pull people down, is what we're fighting. And that's what we're fighting as a token. We've spent so much time on this show and in our community talking about how we're different. And we know that we are, but what can we do to show that? And what can we do to bring opportunities open for other people? I think the Poodle Academy is well underused. And in fairness, I put myself on thin ice because I'm not in there asking and answering the questions that I could. I owe a CoinMarketCap article that to finish up, and some videos, and so I put myself on thin ice because of the delivery that I need to do. And what we end up seeing as as a crypto community, just pulling it away from Poodle really quick, what we see as a crypto community is that people don't know where to go and what to do. A few things have happened in the last few days, though, that are encouraging. World governments, including the United States a week ago, have decided that crypto will be recognized. And yes, it will be, regulated. But it will be recognized, and then it will begin to move to a true currency for the free market. That is huge. We talk in economics here, obviously, in the States, we talk about free market economy, and I know everyone else around the world does too. But as Americans, it's kind of the foundation of our economic system. It's a core belief we have as Americans as a free market. And regardless, take it however you want, how far you regulate it. That's not the important thing. But the idea is the free market. And that really is DeFi, crypto, the intent behind cryptocurrencies, the intent behind blockchain that is both simultaneously fully transparent, yet fully anonymous, all at the same time, is a core belief of the free market. And that's exactly what we're starting to see. I think that as we have world governments say, we are going to move to recognize crypto. Well, and not saying there's still other ones that go, yeah, no, we're gonna ban this ATM or whatever. Who cares? But the fact is, it's a movement. As we've always said, how many times does China ban crypto? Yet then they do that so that they can double down on mining Bitcoin, right? They create fear in order to get ahead, and that's why I think we've gone through this bear market lately. The bear market was created by those who want to get ahead. Let me say that again. A bear market is created by those who want to get ahead. Why? Because they create your fear to sell. You sell, price drops. Guess what they've done? They rebought at a lower price. This is actually an advantage for you if you take advantage of it. Why? What is our price at right now? Our price is, we're double our low, right? So we haven't fallen to where we were before when we were really all packing our bags. But we've gotten to a point where if you buy in now at any amount, you are almost guaranteed to make out extremely, extremely well in the future. We are so positioned to be, and this is the scary part. So let me put this. We're in a position and we're in a market rate and this is cryptocurrency across the board, that it's about to be a whale's market again. Okay? Let me say that. It's about to be a whale's market again. What happened during the boom was that the average person was making money and trading, that the whales were being kicked out. Do you remember how many times on the Telegram, another whale out, because they were taking their money and we were replacing it as ourselves. And so what happens is the big players cause a drop in the market in order to get back in and create it again. And that's where we stand right now. But if we are smart, we will take advantage of that. Right? And we can. But what it's going to take is everybody. And I'm going to say that it takes myself too. I'm 100% equally to blame on our movement. And we've had solid movement. We've had a solid foundation of this token that is continuing to build strength in so many different ways. Right? And if you look at the partnerships that have been made, if you look at the positiveness of our token, and that is exactly what the opportunity we have right now is. And put here, you want $1 trillion? This is your time to get your trillion. There is no better rate. I mean, what's a trillion going for right now? 25 grand ish, something like that. 25 US. That's not bad. Yeah, I know that's a lot of money for, most people, but it's not that bad. Okay. If you wanted to look in a long-term investment, 25 grand at 1,000x is $25 million. You realize that, right? But even 1 grand is $1 million. I've said this the last 2 or 3 episodes, right? That the first 100 is going to be our tough part. It's the 1,000x that will be the easy part, because when we grow so fast, it's when all the other big players get in and the large exchanges come in and push it over the top. We've seen it by all of the meme coins and altcoins that have survived. One thing that we had over the last year, and if you remember back to the very first episodes of the show, there was a lot of questioning, right? We didn't know what was going to happen to the altcoin, meme coin phenomena. We didn't even talk about NFTs at that point. What we did know is we needed to hold on and see what was going to happen. And I said early on that the ones that will be successful are not the ones that launched that day, but the ones that are still around in a year. And if you go back to the episode I did in February, I started I'm actually doing a little bit of research. I've been so busy, I need to tie the research up. But do you remember back or in January, I did an episode warning everybody about the liquidity being unlocked and not relocked, and people getting their money taken? It's happening. And in fact, I saw a bunch of my tokens that I just happened to have that that really weren't worth anything to trade out. And every single one of them had their, and we're talking 100% of the tokens that had their liquidity unlocked were not relocked. Let me say that. 100% of the tokens that had their liquidity unlocked did not relock. Now, when I did the episode a couple of months ago, I didn't think that would be the number, right? And again, it's small. I mean, I've already sold most of my other miscellaneous ones and traded them in for Poodle. So again, it wasn't a lot of them, but nonetheless, 100%. How many tokens? I think it was about 8 or 10, something along those lines. Again, where I just had a small amount where, you got $100 worth or $50 worth, and what's it cost you to just keep it? Because you never know, right? It might take off, whatever. So sorry, for those who are just listening and not live on the show, I am also looking and reading the chat at the same time. But the point was that I was right before. That to take a token to the end is a long game. It's work. It's a lot of work. And that's what gets noticed. If you look at the tokens, who are the meme coins, the altcoins, all of those who have broken through, they're the ones who continued to put in the work and continued to build alliances, continued to build utility, continued to find ways to make the token usable. So while the episode title is Walking on Thin Ice, let me say Poodle is far from it. If you judge a token by its value and its actual price, we're the best value out there, because all the work that's been put in to build the utility and yet keep it at a price that's positive for investors. Do you understand how hard that is to do? It's almost like we had to try to do it. Most investors would actually love that. If you look at angel investing, and I don't know how many people listen are familiar with angel investing. But essentially, it's, if you have a business idea, everyone's seen Shark Tank, right? Shark Tank is essentially an angel investing. You have an idea, you go to somebody who has money, and you ask them for money, right? But what is the one thing that they always look for when they want to get in? They don't talk about how much money you're asking for. They don't always ask what sales are. It's the easy thing. But what they look at is valuation. Valuation is the difference between whether or not you are walking on thin ice and you are walking on thick ice, whether or not you can camp there for the long term and throughout the winter, or whether or not you have to get prepared to run because you're going to fall in and die. Well, look at what this token has done. From being completely saved from the rug to being unruggable to payments and gateways to exchange listings to direct exchanges to NFTs to 3D modeling. Everything that this token has done to survive, to be the first token to be the very first token to actually get Twitter verification. We had it before a lot of the big ones. That says something. When we talk to people, and I bring guests on who are not community members, what do they always say about our token? The respect they have for this group and the respect they have for all that we're doing. This is probably the single best value that anyone could invest in. And the work goes on. And the work keeps getting put in. And I'll tell you, we know it's tough. We know we all want to wake up in the morning and we want to click and see how much it's worth and our tokens are worth, and we want them to be double and triple. We all want that. We are all in this to make, to make great lives for our kids and our grandkids. But I will tell you, the way to make it lasting is the work that's being put in now. Because if we were based solely on cute memes, and by the way, I love the memes and I love the meme group, okay? No way. But if that's all the token was built on, it would not survive. The memes, and again, the meme coins, that's what they put their value on originally. But what we do is our memes are now based on actions that are being taken, on actions that the admins and the devs and the community are taking to be able to give us something to stand on. Because if you don't think right now, there's a lot coming at us. Wait till we kill a zero. Wait till you kill two zeros. Then you want to see some real pressure coming. That's when the real pressure comes. But we've built so much to survive that we can survive. And that's also what other tokens had. They had a foundation. When the lake freezes over, to know whether or not you can go out there safely, it's because the foundation is so solid that you can confidently go out there and know that you're going to end up surviving. There are very few tokens where that's the case. We are luckily one of them. And I shouldn't even say luck. It's because of the work that's been put in. And that's why I'm proud to be part of this token. And as I look into what we're going to do, I've said this before. I come to this show every week as my own therapy. And I come away every week going, damn, I love this community. Damn, I love this token. How do I know that we are going to be so strong? And we are. I'm going to be presenting next week unfortunately, I was supposed to be getting on a plane tomorrow to Dubai and speak, to this. You might have heard this organization called the United Nations. They moved it to October, so I will be doing that in October. So I'm here for a week, home for a week. But I am going to do a call-in to this group, and I'm going to talk about they're doing part of this now virtual. The official conference with the World Education Forum, the United Nations, will be happening in October, where I am doing the keynote address. but I am going to be speaking this next week to them on the metaverse and the use of the metaverse in education. And we're going to do a little bit of a workshop. So it's just part of the thing moving virtual. And I will be talking about things that the Poodle is doing, right? And how what we've done is create a community that allows people to both learn and invest and be entertained and feel they have a belonging. And, you know, in my industry and education, and we're talking about, you know, what it takes to, you know, for the next, you know, and again, not even to get, I should actually just do a whole episode on this one day about education. Like, so we all know that we all live on Zoom nowadays, and what's the next step? And I think the metaverse is the next step in virtual education. And I think Poodle could actually have a huge part in that. The things that we're doing are being a huge foundation there. And I'm working on that. I know some people know the things that I'm doing behind the scenes, and it's taking forever, so I feel bad. But when you see what we end up doing with this token, and how we can be an essential part of the society, and I think that's going to be the difference. No token yet has actually been able to be part of society. And now we see, going full circle back to where I was talking about, world governments recognizing cryptos, and even if they have their own digital dollar, their own global, their own country's token, the fact is, once it's cryptocurrency, it's easy to start to use across other platforms. It's easy for people to get involved in our community and find the value in that, and that is exactly what we will be able to do, and what we're going to be doing. So I think I have one more. I don't present until right after. I think it's Thursday next week on this. So we'll have another show before I do that. But maybe I'm going to share next week a little bit about what I'm going to talk about. Maybe that could be my show. Maybe I should let you guys be my guinea pigs and listen to my speech beforehand. And so what I'm going to kind of close with is going back around to my trip in Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes. And, you know, I was there in March, and you know, some of those lakes are still solid. Some you can go out there and fish. Some you're going to have to run for your own life, and so you don't go drowned. Well, that's the state of crypto right now. The reality is it's growing. The reality is we're getting recognized both as a cryptocurrency and blockchain, and also as a token itself. But there is still a lot of thin ice out there that has to be careful, that we have to be able to navigate and be safe. This is a community to do it. So if you also are a new listener and you just stumbled upon this and you're wondering who this random dude is who's been talking for 33 minutes and 46 seconds, this is a community that's going to come in and help you. Go to the Poodle Academy Telegram, okay? So it's, you know, t.me/poodlacademy. Ask a question, get in there, have conversations, and learn. We're all in this together. It's all of us who will know which lakes are the right ones to walk on. We'll go for it together, and we're going to build our community again on that solid foundation that is going to take us to the end. I've so far been pretty darn good on all of my predictions, and I am still a layman on this, but I've been pretty darn good in my predictions, and I will tell you that in 1 year from now, this show will be completely different, because the position this token will be in just 1 year from now, I wouldn't be surprised if this show is not just this stream on YouTube, but becomes even more of an actual media type of presentation. And I'll leave it at that. We all know what's happening. We've said before that it's not about the quick up, it's the slow ride. And the slow ride is solid, and it's what exactly will put us to success in the future. So we've got things coming. Stay up to date. We've got some AMAs coming. So we're going to talking to some other partners. Huge things coming. I haven't even been watching the chat lately. So hopefully there weren't any questions that I needed to answer. But that being said, everyone, well, damn, I love talking to you all. Oh, this is always the highlight of my week. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode. Great things coming. Look for me trying to get more active. Hold me accountable, everyone. I want you to hold me accountable. If you don't see me on the Telegram, getting in there. My life, getting busy is not an excuse because we know the long term, the real value is in this token. And that's where we need to all get ourselves in every single day and get out there. Love you, Poodle family. You have a wonderful week. Take care.